Welcome back to This Day. Joining me now from the show How We Met is Cheryl Stritch. Cheryl, no, it's so nice to see you again. I think I told you before when we had an interview was how much I just love the concept of this idea. How did you come up with it?
I came up with it. I used to co-write and direct a TV show called Tales from the Woods. And around Valentine's Day, when I had to write a show for February, I thought, I don't want to write another show. I know, why don't we interview the cast? And so we interviewed the cast in real life, and we brought in their partners, and they told their stories about how they met. And when the show was ending, when we had our finale, I still wanted to do it, and I really liked this idea, so I brought it up. And it's such a nice feel-good story show that Paul accepted it, and here we are.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great how that came about.
Right.
So how many couples have you interviewed? Like, when did it originally debut?
It debuted in August of this year, and we've had 7 couples. This is our 7th episode. We're going to be filming our 8th episode next week. So it's going really nicely.
How do you find the couples to interview?
Well, at this point, many people I know, people have given me names of people, and I've reached out. There was an article in the Globe last week, so now people people I don't know are actually reaching out to me, and that's kind of nice.
Oh, it makes it easier than trying to find the couples, because you know they're out there.
Yeah, there are quite a few couples out here, and they don't have to be married. They're just couples, and it's nice. Everybody has a story.
Yeah. Is there, or has there been so far, one story or one couple that for one reason or another just really has stuck with you?
They've all stuck with me. I think the most, I'm trying to think of the word, the kind of story that I had was I interviewed John Perrick and Beth Perrick. And John was my director. He brought me into theater and showed me the way. And I have a very special feeling, fondness toward him. And they came on the show, and they had such a cute story. And it was filmed, and the next month, John passed away.
Oh, my goodness.
And the filming, the show, was a wonderful story for their children.
Yeah.
And it just made it so special. It made me look at the show in a different way. I just thought it was a feel-good show and everything. And now I look at it and I realize people don't know other people's stories. Children don't know the story. I mean, and on the show, people get to tell stories that they haven't told in a very long time. And it's really wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, and now there's this time capsule of that memory that their family will cherish forever. And
right.
I just got such chills when you told me that. That is just incredible. My daughter actually this year for Christmas gave a book to me and to my husband, her dad, and the book is Tell Me Your Story. Okay. So we're each to fill out all our stories, because she's like, you guys don't really ever talk about it. I don't really know. When my dad passed away and I was then telling the story of his life, and she was thinking to herself, wow, I don't know my parents' story. And that's what prompted her to do that. But video, so much more incredible.
I'm happy to interview you if you'd like.
Well, thank you. So what is something that you are always asking your couples?
I have 3 questions that I always ask. Where are you from? How long have you been a couple? Not married, but how long have you been a couple? And how long have you lived in Laguna Woods? And then we go into, and then how'd you meet?
That's so nice. Hearing their stories, talking to the couples and hearing their stories, have you learned anything or seen patterns or has it taught you anything about love and relationships?
Yes, it absolutely has. The people who have come on the show actually enjoy being next to each other. They like being together. There's a trust, there's a compassion that they have with each other. And when, I especially see it with women, when women tell the story, their faces are glowing. I mean, it's a glow that I normally don't see in them. And there's a happiness that shines on their face that's just wonderful. And I see it over and over again each time I do an interview. And the story, and they're so happy to tell the stories. It's just, I don't know, really wonderful.
Yeah. Would you say that there is what is the most endearing trait that you find with the happiest couples?
They have these fun stories. They go off on each other. They share the story. They let the other person talk, and then all of a sudden they chime in, and it's really kind of cute. I have found out there have been friends who have gone on the show, and I didn't know that it was a second marriage, and I didn't even know that they had children. You know, it was kind of a cute story. The most endearing story that I had, and these were people that I've known for a while. They went together, and after 9 months, he said, "Are you my girl?" And she said, "Well, why don't you ask me?" So he says, "Will you be my girl?" And she says, "Okay." So he kissed her, and that was the first time in 9 months that he kissed her.
Wow.
And I was saying, "You waited 9 months? What's going on?"
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, especially I feel like maybe it was easier when we were younger. When you're older, you're kind of like, I remember my husband's best friend like coming to us when he ended up, before he married his second wife, but he was like, "I really like her, but I don't know for sure if she likes me." And I'm like, just touch her shoulder, touch her knee, see how she responds.
Right.
If you know, take it to not just being friends.
So we were talking before this started, and I said, all my couples sit on a couch. And they first sit down, and they don't sit near each other. And then I say, "It's okay, you can sit close," and they do. I mean, right away. You know, they think they have to sit apart, and it's really kind of a cute thing. And then they're really happy to be sitting near each other. They work together. The couples work together. They enjoy being with each other. They tell their stories. What's on this show right now is a couple who had been engaged, and then they broke it off, because she says he wasn't a good boyfriend. Oh. And then they met after they had both been married, and their marriages, he was a widower, she was divorced. They met again, and then they've been married for quite a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, there's stories I would never have imagined,
Right.
You know, really sweet stories.
Oh, well, I think this is just a wonderful show, and I'm so glad you're doing it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for being here today to share this with us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So stay with us, because we have weather and announcements coming up right after this.